we will uncover secrets from the perspective of Stoicism that, when applied correctly, can make that special woman feel drawn to you and think of you constantly. Imagine one day meeting a woman who quickly captures your heart and mind, leaving you puzzled, wondering if she feels the same way about you. Attracting a woman isn't just a result of luck. Rather, it's the result of a deep understanding of oneself and how we interact with the world around us, often reflecting our philosophy of life. By mastering our thoughts and actions, we become stronger, more confident, and naturally attractive. Are you ready to dive into this discussion? Stoicism not only emphasizes calmness and patience, but also encourages us to seek depth in every experience and relationship. It helps us make progress in controlling our emotions and facing challenges. We have a ton of helpful stuff that will help you improve holistically, so please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get started. Remember, details first. It's all about the details. Remembering little things about someone is a subtle yet powerful way to show you truly care. Think about it when someone recalls something small about you. Doesn't it make you feel valued? Stoics emphasize the importance of attention to detail in understanding the world and ourselves better. This approach not only taps into the age-old wisdom of Stoicism, but also aligns beautifully with the art of making a woman think about you. This is particularly true in relationships and interactions with women who are frequently naturally perceptive. It focuses on observing and comprehending the finer aspects of our environment and the people in it, which can lead to deeper insights and connections. When you apply this to your interactions with women, you'll stand out because it demonstrates that you're not just present in the moment, but actively engaged in the conversation. For instance, if she mentions that she loves a particular blend of coffee, surprise her by bringing it up in a later conversation. When she shares something about her day or a particular preference, the next time you're talking, remember it or write it down. Bringing up these details later demonstrates that you're not just listening to her, but also taking in what she values. When you keep these things in mind, Stoicism teaches us to harmonize rather than to dominate. It's about building a connection, not bragging about your amazing memory. It's like telling her you see her and appreciate her without really saying so. This builds trust and can help her feel more connected to you, because she will think you genuinely care about her feelings and experiences. But keep in mind, this isn't a tactic to be overused, just like the Stoics did. Encourage balance in everything. You should also balance how much you remember and share. Make it feel natural rather than like a to-do list. While you're at it, maintain some mystery about yourself. Don't share too much, though, so that she won't be bored. By concentrating on these details, you're not just playing a game. Rather, you're laying the groundwork for a possible relationship. It's not just about getting her to think of you. It's about building a connection that might lead to something meaningful. So the next time you really listen, notice those small things and mention them later in a way that feels thoughtful. This is the kind of relationship where both parties feel seen and valued. Observe the time when her eyes brighten up upon realizing your attention. These are the moments that contribute to the second lasting impressions. Be unpredictable. This may seem to be all about excitement and spontaneity, and while that is true, it also taps into some deeper knowledge, especially when viewed from a Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us to be open to change and the unknown, and we may use this to craft dynamic and memorable interactions, particularly in romantic relationships. Being unpredictably unpredictable means eschewing regularity and repetition. The last thing you want is for your time with a particular someone to be predictable, especially if it's a woman you're interested in. Think about it. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius frequently discussed the importance of living life to the fullest and letting go of dread of the unknown. You may apply this philosophy to your interactions with her. Psychological studies show that people's bodies release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that improves mood and attractiveness when they experience novel and exciting things. This suggests that excitement frequently stems from the unexpected. If you consistently engage in unusual activities, she will start to associate you with these exhilarating feelings. Therefore, what better way to shake things up than to attempt something that neither of you have done before? For instance, if you've spent most of your time indoors, arrange an adventurous day of rock climbing or take a last-minute road trip to an unidentified location. Here is another piece of advice. The goal is to engage in activities that make her heart race. Adapt the themes of your conversations. If you typically discuss daily tasks, add a thought-provoking philosophical topic or a fantastical hypothetical situation to keep the conversation lively and interesting. For example, suppose you're strolling through the city and rather than stopping for coffee, you come upon a street fair featuring dancing acts. Grab the opportunity to join the dance and revel in the impromptu nature of the occasion. Or maybe you discover the secret is to make these experiences feel fresh and thrilling from a Stoic perspective. Unpredictability isn't about being reckless, but about being open to life's possibilities and embracing experiences as they come without preconceived notions. If she has never been to a certain local landmark, take her there unexpectedly. This is consistent with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature, which is unpredictable and full of surprises. Challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone in order to keep her guessing and to enrich your own experiences. When you regularly add an element of surprise to your time together, she will start to think of you as someone who brings excitement into her life. This doesn't just make you more attractive in the moment, it also creates lasting memories that she will associate with you, making her think about you even after years have passed. In this manner, you both develop and uncover new facets of yourself together, keeping in mind that life is full of surprises. Number 3. Employ implanted directives to make trips even more memorable when shared with someone. Let's explore a fascinating idea that stems from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, but directly relates to how you might gently shape a woman's perception of you. Stoicism imparts the ability to master one's thoughts and emotions, and we may use this knowledge to communicate more successfully, particularly when it comes to leaving a lasting impression. Now consider the concept of implanted directives. When you talk to a woman, it's important to tailor your conversation in a way that resonates with her, speaking her language. People often have internal dialogues that are unique to them, and tapping into that style can create a deeper connection. This is not a new trick. It has been used cleverly for centuries. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius or Seneca weren't chatting up their interests like we might today, but they understood the power of influence and control over one's mind. This approach involves coordinating with her subconscious thought processing, which is where implanted commands come into play. An implanted command is essentially a phrase meant to bypass the conscious mind and communicate directly with the subconscious. It's not overtly directive, which may come across as off-putting to women. Rather, by enshrouding these commands in a longer, more benign sentence, you effectively disguise them. By using a covert strategy, the concept is inserted without setting up defensive barriers. For instance, you might say, "I wouldn't tell you to think about how at ease and relaxed you feel around me, because I'd rather you discover these feelings naturally over time." This sentence, however, bypasses the conscious mind and directly implants the idea of ease and comfort into the subconscious. The beauty lies in the subtle suggestions it makes without placing any demands on the reader. As an illustration, consider us simply having a conversation without worrying about where it might go. The order to enjoy a conversation is subtly given, allowing her to feel comfortable and forthcoming with you. Here, connection rather than manipulation is crucial. Stoicism teaches us to respect the way that emotions and events naturally flow. By carefully applying implanted directives, you may align with this flow, allowing her to experience her emotions and thoughts as though they were wholly her own. This method, when applied carefully, respects her autonomy and creates a space for real connection. The most effective communication is about meeting someone where they are speaking in words they understand and respond to favorably. By using this method, you're not only leaving an impression, but also allowing them to grow organically instead of forcing them to recall. If you're still with us and enjoying the video, take a moment to pause and drop a yes in the comments to show your commitment to changing into a more attractive version of yourself. Let's continue on this journey together. Number 4, share your ideas. As a result, the next time you find yourself wanting to make an impact, think about how you can gently implant an idea that grows organically in her mind, just as the Stoics would have advised. This may seem simple, but there's a deeper meaning here. Stoicism teaches us the courage to stand by our convictions and the value of respectfully and clearly expressing our opinions when trying to make an impression, especially on someone we're interested in. How you share your ideas can truly make a difference. First things first, expressing your ideas and opinions clearly shows confidence. Don't merely participate in conversations as a background figure. Speak up. It's vital to share your viewpoint, but it doesn't mean you have to dominate every conversation or shout about it. When you're getting to know someone, especially a woman, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of using your voice to reflect your principles and virtues. It can be very attractive to show that you're thoughtful and engaged, and importantly, genuine people are drawn to those who can offer fresh perspectives and stimulate intellectually engaging conversations. However, just because you voice your opinions doesn't mean you won't face disagreements. Disagreements still happen, and that's okay. The key is how you handle these situations. Stoicism teaches us not to be perturbed by opposition, but rather to engage calmly and rationally demonstrate that you can handle pushback with grace and respect for the viewpoint of the other person. This not only supports your position, but also earns you the respect of those around you, including the woman whose interest you've captured. It's crucial to avoid being monotonous or focused on one thought, because these things can make you come off as dull or unrelatable. Instead, expand your horizons. Discuss a range of topics, including politics, science, art, and personal experiences. Sharing your thoughts is fantastic, but it's also exciting and enticing to demonstrate that you can handle a variety of themes. Ensure that they are believable. By connecting your ideas to anecdotes, tales, or everyday experiences, you build a connection with her that facilitates her understanding and engagement with your points of view. Being relatable is expressing your ideas in a way that connects with other people, not by simplifying them. Finally, always maintain your moral principles when conversing with others, especially women who you may be attempting to get a connection with. Respect someone who is able to make their own decisions and isn't readily influenced by others. This doesn't mean being obstinate, rather it means having integrity and being firm in your beliefs. These are highly desirable traits, so the next time you find yourself in a conversation, don't be afraid to voice your opinions. Remember that it's not just about what you say, but also about how you say it and how well you respect other people's opinions. Engage in conversation with curiosity, talk honestly, and listen respectfully. These actions will not only increase your appeal, but also create an impression that will last beyond simple attraction. It's about building an intellectual and respectful relationship. During talks, exchange 5 flirtations. In the dance of attraction, flirting is a crucial ability since it piques people's interest and can eventually result in the development of sexual chemistry. The lesson that Stoicism imparts to us is the value of sincere communication and self-awareness. By adhering to these principles, you can effectively flirt with her, not just to attract her attention, but also to build a connection. The objective is to stand out by demonstrating your genuine sexual chemistry with her. Stems from a combination of mutual respect, confidence, and genuine interest in her as a person, not just her attractive appearance. This is where many people fall short. Instead of focusing on her physical appearance or giving her fake compliments, which come off as superficial, they should pay more attention to her personality, her passions, or her intelligence. For instance, if she mentions a book she's reading or a project she's working on, you should acknowledge her passion or dedication by saying something like, "I really admire how passionate you are about your projects. It's inspiring to see someone so dedicated." Stoicism is about having a strong, steady core that you employ when you flirt by sticking to your principles and ideals. It's not about bending with every wind. This isn't about being obstinate. Rather, it's about not being ready to give up your beliefs in favor of hers so quickly. Women admire a man who is confident in himself and doesn't hesitate to stick to his principles. Your depth adds to your attraction and intrigue. Demonstrate a sincere interest in what she has to say, pay attention, and give thoughtful feedback. Stoic principles of thought, thorough contemplation, and deliberate conversation include this in your discussions. By focusing on these deeper aspects of her personality, you may develop a more meaningful connection with her and make her feel seen and heard, both of which are very attractive. Ask her open-ended questions that encourage her to disclose more about herself. This demonstrates that you appreciate her mind and not just her appearance. When you combine flirting with the Stoic principles of authenticity, integrity, and respect, you create a powerful dynamic that can leave a lasting impression on the person you are interested in. The next time you find yourself in a conversation with them, keep these tips in mind. They will not only help you flirt more successfully, but they will also help you make connections that will mean something to them and stick in her memory long after you have left. Number 6 uses a distinct voice. People are drawn to those who can express themselves in a distinctive and captivating way, and charisma isn't just about having a great voice. It's about using your voice to transmit emotions in order to adapt and resonate with your audience. In this case, the woman you're interested in. The ability to express yourself vocally is a skill that really sets you apart from the majority of guys who may not give it much thought. The voice is a tool just like any other. The good news is that developing vocal skills doesn't need having a beautiful voice from birth. It all depends on how you use charisma. Learn to modulate your voice to match the emotion and energy of what you're saying instead of speaking in a monotone, which can make even the most engaging topics sound uninteresting. Pretend you're telling her about an exciting experience you had, and when you reach the most exciting portion, let her know. Turn up the volume, accelerate your speed. Your voice should reflect your inner state. It should be controlled yet expressive, deliberate yet natural. Conversely, when sharing a more serious or intimate detail, slow down and lower your tone to draw her in closer. This dynamic use of your voice can make your stories come to life and make you much more engaging from a Stoic perspective. In addition to their wisdom, Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers were renowned for the way they expressed it. They understood the impact of a well-spoken speech or a quietly given piece of counsel. Women find it incredibly attractive when someone communicates in a way that makes the conversation more vivid and memorable. Therefore, when you speak differently, altering your tone, pace and volume in response to the conversation. It shows that you're not just present, but actively engaged. When you master this communication skill, you will possess a unique quality that few people possess: the ability to evoke a range of emotions in someone through your tone and delivery. When she leaves your conversations, the feelings you arouse will remain in her memory because of the way you spoke and the way you sounded. Take some time to consider how you speak and start practicing. You can read aloud and vary your tone as you go, or you can even join a speaking club. Remember that the aim isn't just to sound different. The goal is to fully engage with your conversations emotionally and dynamically. This type of vocal presence makes you remembered, not just heard. The seventh hall Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to prepare for the future through prudent thought and actions by discussing future plans. Talking about the future is a potent way to show that you're serious about your relationship. It's not just about making plans. It's about signaling your interest in being a part of each other's lives over the long term. You're demonstrating your commitment to numerous women by thinking forward, taking into account possibilities, and living according to this attitude. A feeling of safety is essential. Talking about future plans, such as going to a concert the following year or organizing a trip, subtly conveys that you see yourself with her in the future. This implies not only emotional and relational stability, but also physical security. For example, imagine you're having a lovely conversation one evening and you mention a band you both love playing live in a few months. You might even suggest that you see them live next summer. This can create excitement and anticipation. Similarly, talking about dreams, such as beginning a project together or even small future ventures, demonstrates that you're thinking about a shared path, but timing is crucial. When you discuss the future with her, you give her something to look forward to and think about. It's not just about the specific plans you make, but about the message it sends, that you value the potential for a future together. These conversations can have a profound impact on her feelings and thoughts about you. They plant the idea of longevity and reliability, traits highly valued in a partner. It's important that these discussions are genuine. Stoic wisdom isn't about being rash, but about being thoughtful and appropriate in your actions. Make sure your relationship is at a point where talking about the future feels natural and not forced. Talking about the future can be a lovely way to strengthen your relationship. Don't use it as a tactic. Instead, use it as a genuine expression of your intentions and feelings. Be mindful of her responses as well. These conversations should be interactive, allowing her to voice her concerns and visions. Like the Stoics who valued wisdom and foresight, it demonstrates thoughtfulness, commitment, and the desire to include her in your life's journey. You can use these conversations to strengthen your bond with her and help her think of you and the potential of your relationship long after the conversation ends. Remember that the goal is to grow together and envision a future that excites both of you. Number 8. Generate gaps in the information. This strategy fits in perfectly with a Stoic approach to relationships where the focus is on depth and genuine engagement rather than just surface-level interaction. Think about your favorite book or movie. What kept you interested? It was probably the mystery. This is not just a game. It's a thoughtful way to engage someone's curiosity and draw them into wanting to know more about you. Applying this idea to interpersonal encounters, especially when you're attempting to get a lady to think about you, means letting her uncover facets of your personality gradually rather than revealing all at once. The unknown aspects that prompted you to explore more information gaps are basically instances in a conversation where you share something interesting but omit enough specifics to pique the listener's interest. It involves exposing some aspects of your narrative or your persona in a way that begs for clarification. Stoicism instills in us the value of moderation and the strength of silence, which can pave the way for a deeper investigation of information and comprehension. If you're talking about a recent adventure, for example, rather than going into detail about every detail, you could mention something unexpected that happened, but not the outcome. For instance, I was hiking in the Rockies and found myself in a surprising situation with only a map and my wits. Then you would pause, which naturally creates a cliffhanger, leaving the listener wondering what happened next. You turn into a riddle she needs to figure out. In social encounters, this is especially true because humans are naturally curious beings who feel compelled to fill in knowledge gaps. When she notices these gaps, she will ponder about them, wonder about them, and want to spend more time with you to figure them out. Stoicism is the ability to discern when it is appropriate to talk and when it is appropriate to listen in the context of fostering relationships. It is not about trickery or manipulation. It promotes upholding a dignified reserve, which gives your character depth by delaying disclosing all of your personal information. You represent the Stoic ideal. Certain things are more valuable when they are uncovered over time and not given out freely. But you must exercise caution to avoid appearing distant or uninterested by leaning too much toward concealment. The secret is to strike a balance between sharing and keeping information. The next time you're in a conversation, remember that it's not just about what you reveal, but also about what you don't let your stories breathe, and give her space to wonder and ask questions. This approach will not only keep you on her mind, but it will also build a connection that is both stimulating and profound. Think of it as weaving a narrative together where both of you contribute to the story, creating a dynamic interaction that is both engaging and thought-provoking. Number 9, don't give her attention. This balance will not only make you more fascinating, but it will also encourage a mutual respect and interest that can lead to deeper, more meaningful interactions. It's easy to be taken for granted when you're always available. People tend to value what is less available to them. By not being immediately accessible all the time, you create a sense of your own value and demonstrate that you have your own life. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-discipline and the importance of focusing on our own lives and virtues in the context of relationships. This can be interpreted as not always being immediately available or constantly giving attention to someone else, even if you're deeply interested in them. Aspirations and ardor. This isn't about playing games. Rather, it's about genuinely being involved in your own development and pursuits. For example, imagine yourself working on a project that's important to you, learning a new skill, or even moving up in your career. These pursuits not only improve your life, but also make you more attractive and interesting because they demonstrate your self-motivation, which is a highly desirable trait. When you are genuinely busy improving yourself, you naturally become less available, which can make you more appealing and intriguing in place of constantly checking your phone or making plans just to hang out with people. Instead of mindlessly checking your phone or scheduling events just to avoid spending time with others, set concrete goals for yourself. Whether it's going to the gym, reading more books, or working on a personal project, make these a priority. When you spend time with her after being genuinely busy, your interactions are likely to be more meaningful and engaging because you'll have more to talk about, and she'll appreciate the effort you're making to fit her into your schedule. Let your actions show that you're a person of substance. This doesn't mean ignoring her completely. Instead, balance the attention you give her with attention to your own life. This balance may cause her to reflect more deeply on the moments she does spend with you, appreciating them more because they take place in the midst of your significant personal obligations. Consider yourself a high-value person who values their time and the time of others. This perspective will not only enhance your own perception of yourself, but also the perception of others, including the woman you are interested in. Respect is earned and demonstrated by the way you conduct yourself in daily life and in your interactions with others. Therefore, embrace the Stoics' wisdom. Concentrate on improving yourself, keeping a rigorous schedule, and striking a balance between the amount of attention you give and get. As we wrap up today's investigation into the profound effects of Stoicism on personal relationships, keep in mind that this approach will not only make you more attractive to others, but will also lead to a richer, more fulfilling life. Remember, it's not about neglecting relationships, but rather about enriching your own life so that you bring more value to the time you do spend together. Remember that the essence of attraction lies not just in fleeting moments, but in a sustained, meaningful connection. The techniques and insights we've discussed today are more than mere strategies. They're fundamental principles that guide us towards a more composed and reflective existence. Embrace these teachings